Last June, the dealings at Wirecard came to light. The German payment service provider went bankrupt.
Prosecutors then went out with the information just now, a few minutes ago or half an hour ago, and said that Markus Braun has been arrested.
What if the fintech company the world called Europe's PayPal was actually one of the biggest frauds in modern history? Wirecard began in 1999 as a small payment processing startup in Germany, promising to make online transactions easier. For years, it grew quietly, handling payments for adult websites and online gambling companies. But soon, the company reinvented itself, transforming into a sleek, global fintech that claimed to rival PayPal and Stripe. By 2018, Wirecard had become a symbol of European innovation, joining Germany's elite DAX stock index and hitting a valuation of over $25 billion. Its CEO, Markus Braun, loved to play the role of tech visionary. Always dressed in black turtlenecks like Steve Jobs, he promised a future where every digital payment in the world would go through Wirecard. Investors loved it. Politicians called it a European success story. Even journalists were dazzled. On paper, Wirecard's numbers were flawless. Huge profits, massive growth, and expansion into Asia, the Middle East, and Latin America. But a few skeptical analysts noticed something strange. Much of Wirecard's profits came from mysterious third-party partners in countries like the Philippines and Dubai. When asked to identify them, the company refused, claiming business secrecy. Critics were dismissed as market manipulators, and anyone who questioned Wirecard was attacked, sued, or discredited. That's how the illusion was built. Not with fake numbers alone, but with national pride, charisma, and media hype. Everyone wanted Wirecard to be real. It was Europe's answer to Silicon Valley, a success story that felt too good to fail. But beneath the perfect image, something was deeply wrong. The profits were too perfect. The growth was too fast. And the truth? It was about to destroy everything. Imagine a billion-dollar company making money from businesses that barely existed. Wirecard's rise depended on one brilliant illusion: billions in profits supposedly generated by third-party partners. These were companies in Asia and the Middle East that allegedly processed transactions for Wirecard where it didn't have licenses. It sounded clever, even visionary. But there was one small problem. Most of these partners weren't real. When journalists from the Financial Times tried to track them down, they found fake offices, disconnected phone numbers, and websites that barely functioned. Some addresses led to random buildings with no trace of a payment company. Wirecard brushed off the questions, saying it couldn't reveal names for competitive reasons. Meanwhile, the numbers on paper looked perfect each year. Wirecard reported explosive growth, often where its partners were supposedly operating, regions no one could verify. Inside the company, things were even stranger. Whistleblowers described fake invoices, circular transactions, and endless pressure to make the numbers work. But instead of listening, management silenced them. Regulators, instead of investigating Wirecard, went after its critics, accusing journalists and short sellers of spreading lies to hurt a national champion. It was a stunning reversal. The watchdogs became the attack dogs. The truth is, confidence is the most powerful currency in business. As long as investors believed, the fraud could live another day. Wirecard's leaders understood that perfectly. They weaponized trust. For years, billions existed only on paper, and the world cheered anyway. What would you do if your auditor told you $2 billion of your company's cash just doesn't exist? June 2020. The moment everything fell apart. After years of glowing reports, Germany's crown jewel, Wirecard, faced a simple question from its auditor, Ernst & Young. Where's the money? For weeks, Wirecard's executives claimed 1.9 billion euros sat safely in trust accounts in the Philippines. EY demanded proof, real bank confirmations. What they got instead were forged documents. When the banks were contacted directly, they replied with 5 words that erased everything. The funds do not exist. In a matter of hours, Wirecard's empire collapsed. Its stock lost more than 90% of its value. Markus Braun, once praised as a genius, resigned and was arrested for fraud. But the real shock came next. Jan Marsalek, Wirecard's mysterious COO, vanished into thin air. Reports later placed him in Russia. Protected by intelligence networks, he had allegedly managed secret operations tied to fake accounts, encrypted transactions, and even potential spy activity. Regulators and politicians panicked. Germany's financial watchdog, BaFin, which had spent years defending Wirecard and attacking its critics, was suddenly exposed as complicit in its silence. Investors lost over $15 billion. Thousands of employees were left jobless overnight. EY, which had audited Wirecard for a decade, now faced global outrage for missing the biggest accounting fraud in modern European history. The dream was dead, replaced by disbelief and anger. Wirecard didn't just lie. It made the entire financial world believe a lie. Wirecard is gone, but its shockwaves are still shaping global finance today. When the dust settled, the lawsuits began. Markus Braun was charged with fraud, embezzlement, and market manipulation. He maintains his innocence, claiming he was deceived by others, but the evidence says otherwise. Meanwhile, Jan Marsalek is still missing. Reportedly protected by Russian intelligence networks, Wirecard's investors are suing banks, auditors, and even the German government for negligence. For Germany, the scandal was more than corporate failure. It was a national humiliation. How could one of Europe's top companies fool politicians, journalists, and regulators for nearly 2 decades? Parliamentary inquiries revealed shocking details. Regulators ignored whistleblowers, journalists were intimidated, and EY failed to perform basic verification checks for years. The case sparked global reform. Europe toughened financial oversight laws. Auditors faced new scrutiny, and investors, once blinded by hype, became more skeptical of too perfect success stories. The world learned that trust, once broken, can destroy even the most powerful brands overnight. Wirecard's story isn't just about fraud. It's about belief. Everyone wanted the dream to be real, and that collective blindness let a $25 billion illusion thrive in plain sight. If you enjoyed this story, make sure to like, comment, and share this video, and subscribe for more insane financial scandals that change the world.